Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You wake up to the soft warmth of sunlight streaming through your window, the sound of birds chirping outside, and a text from a close friend wishing you a good day. Now ask yourself, how often do you pause to savor these small yet magical moments? Life, with its endless demands and distractions, often sweeps us away, leaving us reactive instead of intentional. Have you ever felt this way? I know I have. I used to believe life was all about grand pursuits. Take my mountain climbing trips with friends, for example. Adventures filled with excitement and dreams of conquering new heights. But one day, I slipped off a cliff. In that fleeting moment mid-air, memories flooded back. Laughs shared with friends, goals yet to be achieved. Miraculously, I survived. And from that day, every morning carried a completely different meaning. The sunlight, the sound of the world waking up, and even simple messages from loved ones became treasures I deeply cherished. This is where Stoic wisdom began to shape my mornings, starting with one simple affirmation: I am grateful for what I have. This mindset transformed my days, anchoring me in clarity, focus, and purpose. In today's video, we'll explore 6 powerful affirmations inspired by Stoic philosophy that can help you start each morning with strength, gratitude, and resilience. Which affirmation will resonate most with you? Let's find out. And don't forget to share your own story in the comments. It could inspire someone else to start their day differently. 1. I am grateful for what I have. Gratitude is a simple concept, yet in the chaos of daily life, it's often the first thing we forget. We live in a society that constantly pushes us to want more success, more possessions, more recognition. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, measuring our worth by what we don't have. But what if, instead of chasing the endless more, we pause to appreciate what's already within our grasp? This shift in mindset is not just profound, it's liberating. Gratitude reminds us that even amid life's challenges, there is beauty and abundance if we choose to see it. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Gratitude to the Stoics was not a fleeting feeling, but a way of grounding oneself in the present. By appreciating what we already have, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of dissatisfaction and cultivate inner peace. Gratitude becomes a powerful antidote to the anxiety and restlessness that modern life so often brings. After that terrible incident on the mountain, I lay motionless in the hospital for weeks. When I finally woke up, the pain was overwhelming. But as I stared at the sunlight streaming through the window, I felt something stronger than pain: gratitude. I was grateful to be alive, to have another chance to see the world, to feel the love of my family. I thought of the trees that had cushioned my fall, sparing me from a worse fate. Even the small things became treasures. The steady beating of my heart, the air filling my lungs, the warmth of my mother's hand in mine. These were moments I had taken for granted before, but now they were everything. I thought about my legs, how they had taken me to so many places and carried me through adventures I hadn't fully appreciated. Now, as I lay there unable to move, I realized how fortunate I had been to have a body that allowed me to explore the world, climb mountains, to run freely. This profound sense of gratitude transformed me. It shifted my focus from what I had lost to what I still had. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a practice. It's the conscious act of noticing the small miracles in everyday life. Each morning, I began listing 3 things I was grateful for. At first, it felt mechanical, but over time, it became natural. Gratitude, I realized, is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it grows. And the stronger it grows, the more resilient you become. In our busy lives, we often forget to notice the gifts that surround us. You may feel overwhelmed by work, responsibilities, or the weight of unfulfilled dreams. But take a moment, just a moment, to reflect on what you already have. Perhaps it's the health that allows you to face the day, the family that stands by you, or the home that shelters you. Gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of seeing lack, you see abundance. Instead of feeling restless, you feel grounded. If you're navigating a difficult time, as I did, start small. When life feels heavy, gratitude doesn't erase the challenges, but it lightens their weight. Each time you acknowledge something you're grateful for, you chip away at the negativity that clouds your mind. This is not to ignore pain or dismiss struggles, but to balance them with a perspective that empowers you. Gratitude also sharpens your ability to live in the present. It brings your attention back to what matters. This moment, this breath, this chance to try again. The Stoics believed that living fully meant embracing the present and finding joy in the simplest things. A sunrise, a kind word, a meal shared with someone you love. These moments are life's real treasures. But they can only be appreciated when you make the effort to see them. The next time you wake up and feel overwhelmed, pause. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. They just have to be real. Maybe it's the roof over your head, the warmth of your coffee, or the strength to face another day. Let these small acts of gratitude shape your morning, and notice how your mindset shifts. The world often demands more from us, but gratitude teaches us that what we already have is enough. It centers us, reminds us of what's truly important, and gives us the strength to keep going. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, to live with gratitude is to live with clarity and peace. When you begin each day with this mindset, you create a foundation of resilience that can withstand life's storms. And in that resilience, you'll find a quiet kind of freedom. 2. I start my day with intention. Each morning, before the world pulls us in countless directions, there's a brief moment of stillness. It's at this moment that we can decide what kind of day we want to create. Yet so many of us rush past this, letting external demands dictate our thoughts and actions. Setting an intention each morning isn't just about productivity, it's about reclaiming control. It's a way of anchoring yourself in purpose, ensuring your energy goes where it matters most. The Stoics believed in living deliberately. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of aligning thoughts and actions with virtue and reason. For them, each day was an opportunity to focus on what truly mattered, guided not by impulse, but by clarity of purpose. In a world overflowing with distractions, this practice feels more relevant than ever. After I meditated on gratitude, I started thinking about what I wanted to accomplish today. My garage had been cluttered for months, boxes piled high, tools scattered, forgotten projects collecting dust. It was a task I had avoided, always finding excuses to push it to another day. But today, I set a simple goal: make progress. I didn't aim to finish it all or transform the space overnight. Instead, I resolved to give it my best effort. I walked into the garage, feeling the weight of years of accumulated clutter. At first, it was overwhelming. Where do you even begin with something that feels so daunting? But then, I reminded myself of my intention: to take one small step forward. Piece by piece, I started sorting through the mess. Each box unpacked and each tool organized brought a sense of accomplishment. It wasn't about finishing, but about starting, about taking action aligned with my purpose for the day. By the time I stopped, the garage was far from perfect, but it was better than before. That's the power of setting an intention. It gives you the courage to face what you might otherwise avoid. It transforms overwhelming tasks into manageable steps, allowing you to focus on progress rather than perfection. Intention is about more than just tasks. It's about how we approach everything we do. It shapes not only our actions, but also our mindset. When you start your day with intention, you're less likely to be swayed by distractions or setbacks. Instead, you approach challenges with clarity, knowing what you want to achieve and why. The Stoics taught that clarity of purpose is essential for a meaningful life. Epictetus reminded us, first, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This isn't just about grand life goals. It's about the small, daily choices that define who we are. By setting intentions, we align our actions with our values, creating a life that feels deliberate and fulfilling. Imagine you're facing a similar challenge. Maybe it's cleaning a neglected space, tackling a difficult project at work, or even having a hard conversation you've been avoiding. Without intention, these tasks can feel insurmountable. But with a clear purpose, you can break them down into steps and approach them with focus. Intention grounds you, helping you resist the pull of distractions and the fear of failure. When you wake up tomorrow, take a moment before reaching for your phone or diving into the day. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish today? It doesn't have to be monumental. Maybe it's spending uninterrupted time with your family, focusing fully on one work task, or simply taking a walk to clear your mind. Whatever it is, let it guide your actions. In my experience, this practice has done more than make me productive. It's brought peace. By focusing on what I can do, rather than worrying about what's out of my control, I feel more in command of my life. And as the Stoics remind us, we can't control everything, but we can control how we spend our time and energy. At its core, setting an intention is about living on purpose rather than by accident. It's about starting each day with a clear sense of what matters most and allowing that to shape your decisions. This practice isn't complicated, but its impact is profound. When you begin each day with intention, you're not just crossing tasks off a list, you're building a life of meaning, one deliberate step at a time. 3. I focus on what's in my hands. There's a constant tug-of-war in life between what we can control and what we cannot. Yet so often, our energy is consumed by the uncontrollable, the economy, others' opinions, or outcomes we desperately want to go our way. This creates a storm of anxiety and helplessness, leaving us drained and distracted. Focusing on what's in our hands isn't just practical, it's transformative. It allows us to channel our energy into actions that matter, actions that we can influence. This principle is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus wrote, "Some things are up to us, and some are not." The wisdom of this teaching is timeless. We have power over our choices, our effort, and our mindset, but not over external outcomes. Letting go of what we cannot control isn't resignation, it's freedom. By focusing on what we can do, we regain clarity and calm in the face of life's uncertainties. Last week, I found myself consumed by anxiety over the outcome of a critical project at work. There were so many variables: client preferences, market conditions, and team dynamics. Each passing hour brought a new wave of worry. What if this failed? What if I wasn't enough? But then I stopped and asked myself, what's in my control right now? The answer was simple. I could ensure my part of the work was excellent. I could collaborate effectively with my team and prepare for any questions or challenges that might arise. Worrying about things outside my influence, like how the client might react, wouldn't change the outcome. It would only rob me of energy and focus. With this shift in mindset, I poured my attention into the tasks at hand, one step at a time. When the project was presented, not everything went as planned. There were adjustments and critiques, but I felt calm. I knew I had done my best within my sphere of control. That sense of peace didn't come from the result. It came from knowing I had given my all to what I could manage. This approach is life-changing, especially in a world filled with uncertainties. When you focus on what's in your hands, you not only reduce stress, but also become more effective. Your energy isn't scattered across things you can't influence. It's directed toward actions that matter. Over time, this builds confidence and resilience. Imagine a similar scenario in your own life. Maybe it's a job interview, a strained relationship, or even an important exam. You can't predict every outcome or control how others will respond, but you can prepare thoroughly, approach the situation with a clear mind, and show up as your best self. That's where your power lies. When you shift your focus from worrying about results to doing your part well, you create a foundation of inner peace that isn't easily shaken. The Stoics saw this as a fundamental way to live. By embracing the dichotomy of control, the distinction between what we can and cannot influence, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Epictetus didn't just encourage people to accept what's outside their power. He urged them to master what's within it. This isn't about passivity, it's about proactive action. You take responsibility for what you can change and let go of the rest. In modern life, this mindset is especially powerful. Whether you're navigating workplace pressures, family dynamics, or personal ambitions, you will face things you can't control. People might misunderstand you, plans might fall apart, and unexpected challenges will arise. But focusing on what's in your hands keeps you steady. It shifts your perspective from, why is this happening to me? To what can I do in this situation? Tomorrow, when you feel overwhelmed by a situation, pause. Ask yourself, what's in my control right now? Maybe it's how you respond to an email, how you show kindness in a tense conversation, or how you choose to spend your time. These small but intentional actions accumulate into a life built on clarity and purpose. As I reflect on that project last week, I realize how much life mirrors that moment. Outcomes will always be uncertain, but our efforts are within reach. The more we focus on our part, the more liberated we become from the weight of uncontrollable variables. Focusing on what's in your hands doesn't guarantee success, but it does guarantee peace. It allows you to live with intention, knowing that you've done all you can within your sphere of influence. And that's enough. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you focus on your actions and let go of the rest, you find a calm strength that carries you through life's storms. 4. I will do my best today, and that's enough. There is relentless pressure in modern life to be perfect. We are told to excel at work, maintain flawless relationships, and achieve every goal we set. But this pursuit often leads to burnout, self-doubt, and the feeling that no matter what we do, it's never enough. Yet, there's a liberating truth. Perfection isn't required. Doing your best with what you have in the moment is more than enough. This mindset isn't about settling. It's about embracing effort and progress while letting go of impossible expectations. When I was working on that challenging project, I knew I couldn't control every outcome. So I shifted my focus to doing my part as well as I could. This approach didn't eliminate the pressure entirely, but it allowed me to navigate the situation with clarity. And while the outcome wasn't perfect, the effort was meaningful. That sense of completion, knowing I'd given it my all, brought peace. This principle applies across all areas of life. Imagine a parent juggling work and family, constantly feeling like they're failing in one area or another. Despite their efforts to balance everything, guilt lingers. But if they step back and recognize the love they pour into their children and the dedication they bring to their job, they might see that their best is more than enough. Or consider someone training for a marathon. They might not be the fastest runner or reach every milestone, but each step forward is a testament to their effort and determination. The Stoics believed in this idea deeply. Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." In this wisdom lies the encouragement to focus on the present, to give what you can in the time you have, and to accept that perfection is neither attainable nor necessary. Doing your best today with the resources and energy you possess is a noble act. Letting go of perfectionism doesn't mean letting go of ambition. It means approaching challenges with a realistic perspective. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" you ask, "What can I do right now to move forward?" This shift not only eases the mental burden, but also makes the task itself more approachable. The idea isn't to lower your standards, it's to ensure that your standards are achievable. When you find yourself stuck in the cycle of self-doubt or striving for impossible perfection, pause. Reflect on what matters most in that moment. If you're presenting a project, focus on delivering it with care and authenticity, not on making it flawless. If you're supporting a friend, your presence and empathy are far more impactful than having the perfect words to say. Your best effort, rooted in intention and sincerity, is always enough. Stoicism teaches us to embrace this mindset. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to live in harmony with nature, accepting imperfections as part of life. He understood that striving for excellence is valuable, but clinging to perfection is futile. When you internalize this lesson, you begin to value effort over outcomes and progress over unattainable ideals. This approach also cultivates resilience. When you focus on doing your best rather than being the best, setbacks no longer feel like failures. They become stepping stones, opportunities to learn and grow. For instance, if a business venture doesn't succeed, you can reflect on what you gained from the experience rather than dwelling on what didn't go as planned. This perspective strengthens your resolve and helps you move forward with renewed energy. Tomorrow, when you start your day, remind yourself, "I will do my best today, and that's enough." This isn't a lowering of your standards, it's a celebration of your effort and commitment. Whether you're tackling a major challenge or simply trying to get through a difficult day, this affirmation allows you to show up fully without the weight of unrealistic expectations. As Seneca reminds us, Life isn't measured by perfection, but by how well we use the time and opportunities we're given. Each day is a chance to give your best, to grow a little stronger, and to move closer to the person you aspire to be. And when you look back, you'll realize that those small, imperfect efforts were the foundation of a life well lived. 5. I choose how I react. Life rarely unfolds as planned. Unexpected challenges arise, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or powerless. But there's a choice that remains entirely ours: how we react. This simple truth holds profound power. Our reactions shape not only how we experience adversity, but also how we grow from it. Instead of being consumed by frustration or fear, we can decide to face situations with clarity, patience, and strength. When I was recovering from my accident, the physical pain was only part of the struggle. The mental battle was even harder. It would have been easy to sink into negativity, focusing on what I had lost: mobility, freedom, independence. But I realized dwelling on what I couldn't change was a prison of my own making. Instead, I chose to focus on what I could do: the small steps toward healing. Every stretch, every attempt to stand, and every wobbly step forward became a victory. By choosing how I reacted to the situation, I reclaimed a sense of agency and peace. This choice applies to every aspect of life. Imagine a professional whose project is derailed by unforeseen issues. They could spiral into blame and frustration, or they could refocus their energy on problem solving and collaboration. Similarly, consider a parent dealing with a challenging child. Instead of reacting with anger or impatience, they could choose to pause, listen, and guide with empathy. In both cases, the power lies not in the situation, but in the response. The Stoics emphasized this control over our reactions. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that while we cannot dictate what happens around us, we can master what happens within us. By focusing on our inner world, we cultivate resilience and freedom from the chaos of external circumstances. Choosing your reaction doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means acknowledging them without letting them take over. Anger, fear, or disappointment might arise, but you can step back, observe, and decide how to proceed. This practice requires patience and discipline, but with time, it becomes a source of immense strength. The key is to pause. In moments of stress, take a breath. Let yourself process the situation before acting. For example, if someone criticizes you unfairly, your initial instinct might be to lash out. But pausing allows you to respond thoughtfully, addressing the criticism without escalating the conflict. Or if you're faced with an unexpected setback, pausing gives you the clarity to assess what can be done instead of reacting impulsively out of frustration. This ability to choose is liberating. When you stop letting external events dictate your emotions, you gain control over your life. You become less reactive and more intentional. This doesn't mean you won't feel pain or frustration. Those are natural, but you won't be consumed by them. Instead, you'll navigate them with a calm, steady mind. Stoicism offers a practical framework for this mindset. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't about denying the difficulty of life, but about empowering yourself within it. When you realize your reaction is always within your control, even the hardest situations become more manageable. You can focus on what aligns with your values and respond in a way that reflects your best self. For anyone struggling with this, start small. Practice choosing your reaction in everyday moments. When a colleague interrupts you, instead of snapping, respond calmly. When you're stuck in traffic, use the time to reflect or listen to something uplifting instead of stewing in frustration. These small shifts build the foundation for handling bigger challenges with grace. By choosing how we react, we take responsibility for our experience of life. We stop being victims of circumstance and become creators of meaning. This doesn't make challenges disappear, but it gives us the strength to face them. Whether it's a health crisis, a career setback, or a personal conflict, the ability to choose your reaction transforms how you navigate the world. In the end, our reactions define us far more than the events themselves. By cultivating this Stoic principle, you not only build resilience, but also unlock a deeper sense of peace. Life will continue to test you, But with each challenge, you'll find the power within to respond thoughtfully, intentionally, and with strength. This is the freedom that Stoicism offers, the ability to rise above, not by controlling the world, but by mastering yourself. 6. I remember everything is temporary. Life is a series of fleeting moments. We often hold on tightly to people, experiences, and things, fearing their inevitable loss. But the truth is, everything we treasure, relationships, success, even life itself, is temporary. This impermanence isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. By accepting the transient nature of life, we learn to cherish the present and approach challenges with clarity and grace. When I look back on my accident and the friendships I've built through my adventures, I'm reminded of how temporary everything truly is. Those trips with friends, filled with laughter and exploration, now exist only as cherished memories. The accident, though painful, brought a profound awareness. Nothing lasts forever, and that's what makes life beautiful. The people we meet, the moments we share, the lessons we learn, they're all temporary, but they shape us in eternal ways. This understanding deepened my gratitude for the present and my acceptance of change. Impermanence touches every aspect of our lives. Imagine someone at the height of their career, celebrated and admired. While they enjoy the fruits of their labor, they know that fame and success will eventually fade. Or consider someone navigating a challenging relationship where the struggles feel endless. Recognizing that these hardships too will pass can bring a sense of peace and perspective. Both scenarios reflect the same truth. Life is in constant motion, and resisting this natural flow only creates suffering. The Stoics viewed impermanence as a guiding principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "All things are in flux, and you are constantly changing and being renewed." To them, the temporary nature of life wasn't a source of despair, but an invitation to live fully. If we know that every moment is fleeting, we are less likely to waste time on trivialities and more likely to focus on what truly matters. We become present, appreciating each day as a gift. Accepting impermanence also makes us stronger in the face of loss. When we cling to what is fading, we invite pain. But when we embrace change as inevitable, we find freedom. It's not about denying the emotions that come with loss, but about approaching them with understanding and resilience. When a loved one moves away, or a phase of life ends, remembering that everything is temporary helps us to release the weight of grief and find gratitude for what was. This perspective can transform how we approach our goals and relationships. Instead of worrying about how long success will last, focus on the joy of the journey. Instead of fearing the end of a meaningful connection, savor the moments you share. Impermanence doesn't diminish the value of life, it magnifies it. It reminds us to love fully, work earnestly, and live intentionally, knowing that each moment is precious precisely because it won't last. In practical terms, embracing impermanence means letting go of the illusion of control. You can't stop time or prevent change, but you can choose how to respond to it. When a business venture doesn't go as planned, instead of despairing, focus on what you learned and how it prepares you for the next opportunity. When a cherished chapter of life comes to an end, celebrate the memories and look forward to new beginnings. This mindset allows you to navigate life's transitions with grace and purpose. Stoicism offers a framework for living this way. Seneca observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." By remembering that everything is temporary, you stop wasting time on anger, regret, or fear. Instead, you invest in what brings meaning, acts of kindness, moments of joy, and pursuits that align with your values. Tomorrow, as you start your day, remind yourself, "This moment is fleeting, but I will make it count." Whether you're sharing a meal with loved ones, tackling a difficult task, or simply enjoying a quiet walk, approach it with full presence. Let the knowledge of impermanence bring depth to your experiences and courage to your actions. When you understand that everything is temporary, life's uncertainties lose their power to paralyze you. You realize that each ending carries the seed of a new beginning. By embracing impermanence, you find strength not in resisting change, but in flowing with it. This isn't about detachment, it's about connection. It's about living with an open heart, fully aware that life's beauty lies in its impermanence. As we reach the end of this journey together, I invite you to reflect on the lessons we've explored. Each affirmation we've discussed, gratitude, intention, focus, effort, choice, and the acceptance of impermanence, serves as a powerful tool for building resilience and inner peace. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are practical steps to help you navigate life's challenges with strength and clarity. Imagine beginning each morning with a sense of gratitude, setting a clear intention and focusing on what's within your control. Picture yourself releasing the need for perfection, choosing thoughtful responses over emotional reactions, and cherishing the present while accepting life's transience. This is how Stoicism becomes a guiding light, not just a philosophy, but a way of living intentionally. Every day offers a chance to practice. Start small. As you wake up tomorrow, reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. Take a moment to set a meaningful goal for the day, no matter how simple. When challenges arise, remind yourself of what's within your power and choose how you react. Let the impermanence of life inspire you to savor each moment fully. These affirmations aren't quick fixes, they're habits to cultivate over time. Consistency, they will transform how you approach each day, fostering a mindset of resilience, emotional control, and peace. You don't need perfection to thrive, just the commitment to show up and try your best. Now, I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences. Have you tried practicing these affirmations? What has resonated with you most? Share your story in the comments below. Your journey may inspire someone else to begin their own. Let Stoicism guide you, one affirmation at a time, toward a life of meaning and balance. It all begins with a single step.